Here are 3 quick ways to get natural relief from shoulder pain. Now, this might be pain related to like a rotator cuff tear, shoulder impingement syndrome, a labrum tear, the cartilage inside the shoulder. It could be a nerve-related problem. There are lots of issues that affect the shoulder that these 3 things I'm going to show you right now are going to help you get pain relief from. Now, the reason there isn't just one thing that's going to give you pain relief is because you usually need to try different things depending on what the main problem is. And I'll explain a little bit more about that as I go through each thing. The first solution to get quick relief from shoulder pain is going to be using a sling like this one. Now, the reason you would think to use this sling is when your shoulder pain is very irritated, like it hurts to raise your arm up, it hurts at night, it hurts to just sit still in a chair, it kind of aches or throbs in that moment. This could be related to a nerve problem, a labral tear, a rotator cuff tear, shoulder impingement that's very irritated and maybe is going to become a rotator cuff tear. The reason you would put the sling on is to take some pressure off the shoulder joint and the nerves and all the muscles and tendons so that it can calm down, because chances are the weight of your arm is pulling the ball away from the socket and it's stretching the ligaments, the nerves, the tendons, the joint itself, and that's what's causing more irritation. It's so injured, in other words, that gravity, the normal pull of gravity on your ball and socket joint is causing more irritation. So if we can take gravity away by using this sling, then you can put it into a position where it's going to feel better and begin to heal, so you can get some natural quick relief. There's no medications involved in this. A sling like this, by the way, is going to cost you like $20 at most. You can probably get one for $10 or $15 even. You can order this one off Amazon, by the way. I put a link in the description below so you can get this exact one. I love this one. Has a little thumb loop, has pockets on the inside right here for stuff that you might need. The straps are good quality, everything's good quality on this, and it's not a pricey sling at all. But you can always find one at your drugstore, any pharmacy, anywhere that in the first aid section you'll be able to find a sling just about every single time. So to use the sling properly, you got to make sure that you pull the strap here to tighten it up, and you need it tight enough so that it shoves your elbow upwards here so that it's pushing the ball into the socket, and not super aggressively, just enough to get you that pain relief. Once you can adjust the sling just right, now you can be comfortable, you can move through the day. And the other added benefit of this is you're resting your shoulder throughout the day because you're in a sling, so you kind of can't do things with this arm. You can't go reach for the door, you can't be using it for your normal everyday activities, plus other people will see that you're not well right now, so they might help you, they might get the door for you, they might help you carry that thing, which will save you from more irritation and allow you to begin feeling better. This is one of the most common things that I see people is they're gritting through the pain, they're doing the normal things that they have to do every day, they're not asking for help, nobody else can tell that they're in pain because they don't have something on them like this, and if they simply got in a sling, it would solve so many of their problems to get them the pain relief needed to begin to heal their shoulder. And number 2 is using the rule of the hand. Now, the rule of the hand means it's something that I've developed, and I have a video that talks way more about it. You can find a link somewhere on the screen here to go see that video. But in summary, really quick explanation is wherever your hand goes, like when you're reaching for things or doing exercises, like if you're doing a chest press or an overhead press, wherever your hand goes, your shoulder blade should follow it. So if your hand's going forward, shoulder blade should go forward. If your hand's going upwards, shoulder blade should go upwards. If you're reaching towards your body or behind your body, then your shoulder blade should pinch backwards, and anywhere in between. So if you're reaching up at an angle, then move your shoulder blade in that angle. The reason for this, here's the big why, and this is why the pain will diminish tremendously, is because if you're thinking about the ball and socket joint of the shoulder, this is the right ball and socket joint right here. The socket is part of the shoulder blade. The shoulder blade bone has the socket on the outer part of it, and that connects to the ball. And your shoulder blade has the ability to move quite a bit, and people don't take advantage of this. So when you go to reach up overhead, for instance, if you don't think to move your shoulder blades up, shrugging them, then the socket stays facing sideways, and it begins to pinch and compress the top part of the joint right here, and that's what leads to shoulder impingement syndrome and labral tears and rotator cuff tears and other problems. But if you simply shrug your shoulder, then what you're doing with your socket is you're positioning that socket upwards, and now it should be much easier to move that arm up overhead without pinching things. Now, same thing going forward. If you're reaching forward this way, by moving your shoulder blade forward, you're going to move the socket in this direction and ease the tension and compression on the sides of the joint. This happens in every motion. If you move it backwards, you're moving the socket backwards. This is what the rule of the hand is. Now, this pain relief technique is not for when it's really irritated. That's when you would use the sling. This one is for more when you're getting out of pain. It just hurts sometimes. It hurts occasionally. It hurts with exercise. If you begin to use a rule of the hand in exercise or in those extreme activities that begin to bother you, like reaching way up somewhere for something heavy, then you should find that your pain is reduced in doing those activities. And the more you can reduce your pain throughout your everyday activities and throughout your exercise routine, then the less likely you are to become irritated and tear something. The number 3 thing that you need to do is this exercise. Now I'm going to show you the exercise first and then explain when to use it and why it works. And I call this the golden cat exercise because at certain Asian restaurants all around everywhere, you'll see this little statue of a cat that's waving like this, and it's just perpetually waving. It has like some battery in it that makes it keep going. But that's very similar to the exercise that we're going to be doing. And I love this exercise because of, I'll tell you why in just a second. So you're going to lie down with 2 pillows, one for your head and one for your arm. The pillow that goes under your arm right here is going to be supporting your elbow with your arm at about 90 degrees right here. It's okay to go lower if it hurts to be at this position, but generally you're going to be at about 90 degrees. And then you're going to bend your elbow at about 90 degrees, and I'll show you how to move it. So lie down just like this, get the pillow under you, and the reason for the pillow is because without a pillow, then your arm's going to be down like this, and it tends to put some unnecessary strain on your shoulder joint because it moves the ball into a bad position on the socket. But if you have the pillow in place, it tends to be a lot more comfortable. So 90 degrees at the shoulder, 90 degrees at the elbow, comfortable with your legs and head. And then all you're going to do, here's the exercise, you're going to let the arm slowly fall this way as much as you can go without forcing it and no pain. And then you're going to go the other way. And you're just rolling your hand back and forth like this. Now you might feel a little bit of a stretch. That's okay. I wouldn't stretch into it. Just get to the edge of the stretch. And you're just going to rotate back and forth at a calm pace. This exercise is not going to tire you out, and it shouldn't hurt. If you get pain going this way, what you should do is stop right before the pain. You'll find it once, obviously you'll know where it hurts. Then don't go into it again, and then just move within the range of motion that feels comfortable for you. If you have pain going this way, which is the more common way, then you'll just stop when you have pain and then go the other way. You need to do this for 1 to 2 minutes hourly while you're awake. Don't do this at night. Don't wake up from your sleep to do this. And when you do this exercise, what you should find is after 30 seconds, maybe a minute worth of doing it, that painful zone starts to diminish. It starts to go away. You start to be able to go, oh, it was hurting going that way. Now I can actually get there. And same thing going this way. It was hurting, but I can get there. Doesn't always happen, but it tends to happen the more you do this. That's why this needs to be done so frequently throughout the day. Now what I recommend is doing this exercise until the pain goes away, and then keep going for 1 to 2 days after the pain goes away, just to make sure that you're getting the full benefit of the exercise. Now let me tell you why this works and when to use it. This works because what's happening at the ball and socket joint is you're gently rotating the ball into the proper alignment on the socket. The socket for the shoulder joint is actually very small. My hand is not, I'm misrepresenting it. It would be just like the palm without my fingers, probably even smaller than that. And so it's very possible to shift the ball slightly off the socket and change the alignment, which changes the way that the joint is behaving, and this can be a source of pain for a lot of people. This is one of the root problems that affects shoulder pain and causes tears, like rotator cuff tears, labrum tears, biceps tendon tears, those kinds of things. And if you do this rotation exercise nice and easy on a consistent basis, it tends to cause the ball to settle back into the socket. And then another thing that happens is because you're using your rotator cuff muscles to perform this exercise, you're training your rotator cuff muscles to behave more normally, which helps you to maintain the ball properly on the socket as you go do your normal daily activities. This exercise works like magic for people, but the timing's important. If it's painful to do this exercise consistently, then you probably need to be in the sling for some time. Once it's not hurting as much, it's hard to tell you exactly, at this point, at 7 days or at 50% reduction in pain. You have to kind of experiment and see what works best for you. But what I tell people is start with the sling. Once the pain's calming down and you feel open to exercising like this on this specific exercise, begin to do the exercise. Don't force it. If you have pain, it's not a good thing. What you should feel on this exercise is pain reduction. If you don't feel pain reduction, you're not ready for it. If you feel that it's helping you out, do a lot of it. Every hour, 1 to 2 minutes. The reason for 1 to 2 minutes, you get diminishing returns, diminishing benefits. In other words, the exercise is not that much more helpful to do it beyond 2 minutes. You can. I have people that tell me they did 5 minutes or 10 minutes worth at a time. It's going to take you more time, obviously, but you're not going to get that much more benefit for it. 1 to 2 minutes tends to be sufficient to get the alignment and the muscles woken up the way that you need it. You're better off coming back in an hour rather than doing 10 minutes every hour or trying to do 10, 20, 30 minutes once or twice a day. That's not as effective as doing 1 or 2 minutes hourly throughout the day. If you're dealing with a rotator cuff tear, a labrum tear, shoulder impingement problems, nerve issues, I've got playlists for just about all these conditions where I have lots of videos from YouTube here. All these playlists are linked in the description below. Go check those out, find what issue you have, and you'll see a bunch of videos on that condition. I've also got a rotator cuff tear recovery program that's a very detailed program that walks you through how to heal a rotator cuff tear on your own at home without having to have a rotator cuff tear surgery. You can find a link to that program in the description below. It's been a wildly successful program. A lot of people are healing their rotator cuff tears and avoiding surgery altogether. And not just getting out of pain, but thriving, because this program takes you to the point of picking weights up over your head safely in a way that's helping you heal your rotator cuff tear and getting you stronger so that you can continue to do whatever you want, even if you've suffered a rotator cuff tear or had a failed rotator cuff tear surgery, because that happens a lot too. There's some underlying root problems that need to be addressed in order for your shoulder to be healthy for the long term. Hey, if this video was helpful for you, please give us a thumbs up. That helps us get this video out to more people that need to see it. And please share this with somebody. If you know somebody in specific that needs to see this video, please copy the link or hit the little share button on the bottom here and send that over to them. And then please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the videos that we post each and every week. And drop a comment. We love to hear how you're doing. We love to answer any questions. My staff loves to jump on those as soon as possible in order to help you as much as they can. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.